Some stories just need to be told, and some people just need a proper introduction. I'm Micah, insatiably curious host of Introducing, where I have conversations with people doing fascinating things. Some you may have heard of, others you may be getting the privilege to meet for the very first time. And my first guest, although he might not be a household name worldwide, in a small community in Italy, he needs absolutely no introduction. He's the two-time MVP of the Italian Football League. He has now led his team to back-to-back championships, going undefeated with 22 straight wins. He has the all-time record for most all-purpose yards and most TDs in a single game, and he's on track to go down as one of, if not the best, Italian-bred quarterbacks in history. But that's not even what makes him the most interesting. So with that, please join me in introducing Andrea Fimiani. Welcome. Have you ever done an interview like this before?
Not like this. No, I was just thinking about it. No. Like, of course, I did interviews, not a sit-down interview like this. That's why I'm curious to see where this goes.
I think it's not easy, it's not easy to sit down as the interviewer or as the person talking, because you kind of divulge your soul a little bit.
Yes, but I don't know, of course I've seen a lot of sit-down interviews,
sure.
And I love seeing them because, again, as you said, gives you the opportunity to dive deeper into somebody's life or perspective, all this podcasts and all the things with the interviews they're doing. And so it's going to be interesting to do it in first person.
So, Spanish. So you've been learning Spanish. Yeah. Started 6 months ago. You said roughly.
I studied it in school, but I never really use it. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of easy because it's very similar to Italian.
Yeah.
And so started talking about it in Spanish because my girlfriend is from Argentina.
Yeah. So you decided I want to be able to communicate with her.
And I do like Spanish. Mm-hmm. So she speaks perfect Italian. I just wanted to learn a new language. And again, I had a background from school, and so I just started. We speak Spanish at home. I'm always so curious because my learning structure of how I'm learning Italian, I'm struggling, but it's also very different for a lot of reasons. Tell me what did you start doing to start speaking Spanish? Again, I had a base, right, and so I just started to. I was mixing, and I'm still doing it. I'm still mixing Italian and Spanish. Italian. Yeah, Spanish until I encounter a word that I cannot say in Spanish, and so I go Italian. But with time, of course, you learn more words because I hear her talk, and so I learn. I learn from I'm not studying Spanish. I just hear her speak, and I just. You just kind of have just been observing that's really cool. I didn't thought I was gonna speak Spanish at some point in my life. Yeah, but that's cool. Still, I want to learn. She speaks Portuguese as well. Oh, she does. But and I want to learn it because I love Portuguese. I love the sound of it. Yeah. But that's more difficult. I grew up with my mom. She has a company that worked with translation, so I grew up with her talking German, of course, English, other languages, and I was speaking English with her when I was a little kid. So I grew up in this kind of environment, and probably I got that side from her. Yeah, that's awesome. Speaking of your childhood, what was growing up as Andrea Fimiani like? Did you grow up in a really strict household? Say so. Talking about it, of course, years later, I understand the discipline that my parents taught me is definitely helping me in every aspect of life. They both had sport background, and that helped me a lot because I grew up playing sports. That's so important. Yeah. I was not playing football. I didn't play football until I was 13 years old. Even though I started off with judo, martial arts, and swimming. Okay. Swimming, first of all. I was such a bad swimmer. And I swam for a lot of years, and I was bad. So I was I'm a trash athlete because I'm so bad. I was kind of good at judo, but I was a terrible swimmer. My mom is very big into swimming. She swam her whole life. I kind of feel sorry for her that I was not good in swimming. She always says, I would have been happier if you swam because now I don't have to be worried about you getting injured on the field. It makes sense. But I was just bad at swimming. And so fortunately, of course I knew football because my dad played football. Yeah. So I grew up with a football in my hands, and we were playing in the backyard. This is a funny story, and that drove my mom crazy. But before going to bed every night, my dad from the couch was making me run routes. That's so funny. The old route tree. Oh, that's good. And if I dropped one, I had to restart from the beginning, and so I couldn't go to bed until I finished the route tree.
Oh my gosh!
And so my mom was mad because I was going to bed sweating, take a shower and then running routes in the living room. And so of course I grew up knowing what football was, playing football, but I never played in a team. I didn't even know flag football was a thing.
Yeah.
And I was like 6 years old, 8 years old growing up. Didn't know there was a team in my area.
So your dad, even though he knew about the football world, he didn't know that there was
because like he stopped playing in 2000.
Okay.
Which another funny thing, his last game was against Wealthy.
Yeah. His last game.
First season.
Which, for context, for the people who don't know, Fimi plays for the Italian football league called the IFL, and he plays on a team called Guelfi, which is the opposition to his father's old team, which is called the Frogs of Lignano. So
right. So his last game was the Super Bowl against Guelfi.
Wow.
And I was at that game. I can't remember anything. I was like 4 years old.
Okay.
But I was at a game, and a lot of the coaches that I do have now were playing.
Oh, that's insane. Right. We can go back to this, but back up a little bit. What does strict mean to you? You said your parents were strict, and you said it helped you. You see how it's helped you develop your character now, but like, what does that mean? What did that look like?
I mean, we gotta define streak. It's not streak in a bad way.
Yeah.
But I feel like streak in the way that's needed for a kid to grow up the right way.
Give me an example.
I mean, I had rules, that's for sure.
Sure.
Like, again, sports helps a lot. It's tough. I mean, that's a tough question because I don't know how to define it exactly. But again, I had like rules to follow.
You just had like guidelines that you had to follow.
Yeah.
You had a certain standard that you had to live up to.
And my parents were and still are. So they were really taking care of me and making sure I was doing good at school, and so they were on my ass.
Well, yeah, okay.
And so that's what I mean with strict.
Do you feel like their rules and standards that you had to live by very much play a role into how strict you are with yourself, right? Like now?
Yeah, like 100%. I'd say 100%. Like, I'll give you an example. I was just thinking about it, and that's from my mom. Can't even remember in which situation she brought it up, but probably on a sport thing. Like, again, I told you I was very bad at swimming, but as soon, like as a little kid, sometimes you can be like, I want to quit, I don't want to do it no more. She always said, if you start something, you gotta finish it. Then, like, at the end of the season, you can decide, okay, this is not a sport for me.
Yeah.
But you started the season, you're not quitting halfway through, and that's, of course, something that I still live by in everything, like not just, of course, in sport. You want to start something, you make sure you finish before you decide if that's for you or not.
Absolutely. This is why you said that it's not just sports, but it's for everything that you do in life, and I agree. And this is why I think everybody should play at some point in their life, should do something, absolutely, compete in some way, because it really shapes character. It shapes who you become, and you can always tell when people didn't play sports, whether in business or you can tell when they just don't have that edge. That makes greatness.
Probably in the US is different. I don't think it's something that Italy understands still. There's not that sports culture yet.
Right.
And hopefully we're going through the Olympics in Milano right now. Hopefully the Olympic atmosphere can, I don't know, make someone think about those things. But sports is so important for society in general. Yeah. It is so important, and something that I believe Italy has to do a better job in taking care of. Creating
better organizations so that it's possible for kids to develop in sporting systems.
Yeah, right. And even like considering a guy which is an athlete and is going to school, or a guy that is an athlete and is working. And I'm not speaking for every organization. As of now, if you're an athlete, can be looked at in a bad way. Like,
right, which is so interesting.
Right, because it's like, I mean, at school, you're an athlete, so you're taking away time from studying.
Right.
They should consider about how much values you got coming from a sport, culture. I mean, again, it's, as you said, you can tell when someone comes from sports or not.
Yeah, I mean, what you said is like, athletes are always bringing value. I guess I didn't think about that. There's so much that I'm learning about Italian culture, obviously having been here for a couple years, but learning that they see that as a negative, I did not know.
Yeah, not everyone, but I'd say like more than 50% for sure.
Will be like, oh, you play sports.
Yeah.
This is my book of Andrea.
Oh, just for me?
Yeah, it's just for you. Well, it wasn't, but I turned it into a book just for you. One of the questions I had for you was, who were you before football? But it's kind of fascinating because you said that you always, despite the fact that you didn't play it at first, you've always had a football in your hand.
But I was a much different person because I was doing other type of sports. I was not having success.
As a bad swimmer, meaning not having success, were you losing every race? Like what place were you coming in?
I was not winning. Like, I was definitely not winning.
So success to you is about winning.
Yes.
Okay, so you were getting what, second place, third place, fourth place?
It depends on the competition. I was not like top 10 in the country, that's for sure.
Okay.
So I was, and again, I had some very bad races, some other good ones, but I was not.
There was nothing that you were like standing out.
Yeah.
So to you, success is like standing out, being the best.
Yes.
Okay.
And so I was looking at myself as probably not non-successful person because I was not having success in sports. I was just, I never was a bad student, but I was not like number one in class as well. And football completely changed it because then I started playing football at 13 and I was the guy. Like
automatically,
right
probably
away.
Because you were running routes in your living room.
100%. But first year, I started at 12 years old. So my first year, we won it was flag football, but we won the national championship.
And what team were you on here in Italy?
Blue Storms.
Blue Storms.
Yeah,
okay.
and I want to talk about it because they played a very important role in my career.
So at a young age, you kind of knew that there was more to you, like you had more to give.
Probably, like, because I don't know if I knew it. I just knew swimming wasn't it, and I loved football, and so. Again, I started playing football for a coincidence because one of my dad's teammates were going around for a walk, me and my dad, and we met this person. He was with his two kids. They were playing flag football at the Blue Storms, and they were like, "Why?" And we were kind of the same age, and they were like, "Why don't you come play with us?" And I was like, "Oh, there's a team 20 minutes away from my place. I'll do it."
Yeah.
And then again, first year right away we win the championship and I'm the MVP of the league. And so like, all right, that is better than swimming. I'm good at it. And so again, it kind of shifted because now I was a winner, and I was the guy. And it's been kind of like that for my whole junior teams, and having success over football helped me probably look at myself in a different way.
Okay.
And that translates in every other aspect of my life. And still does.
Right. So what position were you playing?
Running back.
You were?
Running back. My dad used to play running back.
Okay.
I was playing running back. Yeah, pretty much running back. And there's another funny story now. I started playing quarterback. Because I played running back my whole junior years. I was playing under 18. I was probably 16 years old, and I broke my shoulder in practice. So my dad played running back for 20 plus years, and his knees are all banged up. And so. By the way, he wasn't the one pushing me to start playing football.
Yeah.
Because he knew it was it's
tough on the body.
Right. So my mom wanted me to try it.
Right. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. And so my dad wasn't happy about it. And as soon as I got injured, my dad was like, "You're still a minor. I won't give you permission on playing football unless you play quarterback." Because you take less hits.
Oh, that's how you became a quarterback.
And so I started playing quarterback.
You're like, I'll play quarterback, but I'm still going to run.
right. That was my dad. My dad didn't thought about that, but that's how I started playing quarterback. And of course, my running background, still shows up on the field.
Very much.
That's how we started.
And talk to me about Blue Storm, because I wanted to see if there were people who have had a really strong influence over your life. It sounds like that's Blue Storm. So tell me about that and why they've had.
Yeah, more than particular person is the environment.
Sure.
So Blue Storms were a Division II team. They were cruising between Division 3 and Division 2 in those years. It was so valuable for me because growing up in a Division 1 team, it would have been way tougher for me to start actually having playing time.
Yeah, right.
And so I grew up with the Blue Storms. And the first year with the senior team, I was like a backup quarterback. Still showing something though. I remember starting quarterback, getting injured a couple of games, and I balled. And so the year after that other quarterback left the team, I was called to be the starting quarterback at, I guess, 17 years old.
Okay, and this is Division 2.
Division 2.
Okay.
So the year before, when I was a backup, they went like 1-8.
Yeah.
The year after, we went to the playoffs.
1-8?
Yeah, 1-8. Yeah, and the year after we went to the playoff and won the first game in the playoff and got eliminated in semifinals. But and me personally had a great year.
Okay.
And that's how where it all started. It would not be possible growing up for a Division 1 team because they would have had an American quarterback, so I probably would have never played.
You would have never had the opportunity to develop into the player that you are today.
Actually. Right after my injury at the shoulder, when I was starting to play quarterback, I was really thinking about leaving football to go play tennis.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
wow.
and I was so close because so I had this injury, and then I was started practicing with the senior team, but never played quarterback, so I wasn't like a great thrower, and they weren't like using me much in practice. And again, I was used to be the guy, and for all my junior years, and then senior team, they were like, I was just watching how to play, and I was like, what is that? I don't like the environment. And again, as a 16-year-old playing with 40 years old,
you're
teammate,
a child and you have grown-ass men
and I didn't like probably the atmosphere that year. And
the what atmosphere?
The atmosphere on the team.
Okay, just the atmosphere in general.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I wasn't even practicing because I understand. I mean, starting quarterback has to have more playing time, but they were not using me at all.
Right.
And so I was like, I'm gonna start play tennis, and I really liked tennis, and I was getting good, and so I wanted to do tennis, and I was like, I'm gonna just quit football, right? Yeah. So I started playing tennis for a couple of months. I wanted to start playing games, but my tennis coach, he wanted me to introduce into like actually tournaments so slowly, and I'm a competitive guy. I need competition, and so I was waiting for him to give me like the player card to be able to play these tournaments. But it took forever, and so while I was waiting, I was like, "All right, I'm gonna go back play football." And then I never really left. And again, the year after, as I told you, I started in a senior team, and
so the process was just too slow for you with the tennis.
I wanted to play, and that's the other reason why I left judo too, because like we were having practices like when I was younger, having practices and everything, but we were having like competition twice a year. That wasn't enough for me.
You're just practicing, having two like big tournaments a year where people. Okay, so you become the starter.
Yeah.
And then how do you transition from Division 2 to Division 1? Like where was that transition? So you said when you started for the first time, you did become, or you guys went to playoffs?
Yes.
But got kicked out in the semifinals. Yeah. Then where'd you go after that?
By playing well in Division 2, the teams in Division 1 started noticing me. And I got this call from Lions Bergamo. And again, I gotta say thank you to them because they were the first team ever believing in me as a starting quarterback in Division 1.
Yeah. As a starting Italian quarterback.
Which is something that is not a thing. It's still not a thing.
Yeah. At all.
Right. Like almost 10 years after, it's still not a thing. And so they believed in me. And I had this coach, love him, Adam Rita, Hall of Famer on the Canadian Football League. Mm-hmm. And is the one that really believed in me.
He saw you?
I'd say the Lions owner, they gave me a call, probably knew me from the Blue Storms, and then they talked about me with Coach Rita, and it was like he agreed on having me on the team.
Okay.
And so I started practicing with them. I played 2 seasons in Bergamo. I was very lucky because looking back at it, every step that I did was the perfect step to be in the position where I'm at right now.
Right.
It wouldn't be possible without each and every step.
Isn't it crazy how life works like that? Like everything is like for in succession of your highest good.
It is. And that's why I play with God's plan written under my eyes, I
love that.
But so again, starting from the Blue Storms, then 2 years at the Lions, which there were definitely tough years.
Yeah.
We didn't have a great team, but that was needed for me again in order to, first of all, started competing in Division One, see where the level was. I got way better in those 2 years, and playing those years, even though we didn't have success as a team, made me noticed by the wealthy.
Though, I mean, those tough seasons are the ones where you become.
Right.
Like, those are the ones that build you.
Right. And so Guelphi actually tried to get me, after my first season in the playing for the Lions, and which was the first season which Coach Art Briles was coming to Florence.
Sure.
But that was also the first year I started working and have a job. So I was like, this is going to be my first year having a job. I don't feel like going back and forth from Milan to Florence. I don't know how it's going to be. It's just too much of a change for me. And of
so
course,
at this point, you're like 21?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was 20, yeah. Of course, I regret that decision because that year, Guelphi have a crazy year with Coach Art Briles. They went to the Italian Bowl, they lose it. But then I decided, and by the way, we have a terrible season in Bergamo with the Lions, and we finish off last.
Damn.
So the Lions after that year, they were not having a team no more in Division One, and so Guelphi called me again, and I was like, all right, I want to do that.
Okay.
And that's how I ended up in Florence.
Let's pause for a second and help me describe for anybody who could be listening or watching about the details you just gave. So breaking down the layers of how football works in Italy. So it's not like at home at home in the States where they have a bunch of different, like at high schools playing against each other and competing, and then that's how you get to Division One football and then go from there. Here there's the third division football, right?
Yes.
Second division, and then the first team. Well, how do we call them here?
Division One.
The actual Italian football league.
Yeah.
And in the two divisions, nobody can play in those leagues except for actual Italians.
Yes.
And then when you get to first division, when you're in the actual IFL, this is when it becomes professional football. Yeah. Each team gets 2 American imports.
Plus a dual passport. If
you can find them, because those are also unicorns.
Right. And but that's the reason why the leap from Division 2 to Division 1 for an Italian quarterback is almost impossible.
It's impossible.
Because everyone wants an American quarterback, because quarterbacks are, I'm biased, but they're the most important players on the field.
Yeah, it's arguably one of the most important players. So of course you're thinking like you're an organization. Right. The first position you're looking for is a quarterback.
And so having a team that relies on an Italian quarterback to lead their team again to winning is not something that's common at all.
Right.
So again, Lions were the first one believing in me as a Division One quarterback. Guelphi were the first one believing in me as a Division One quarterback that could lead them to win the championship. Because Lions, they knew they weren't competing for the title.
Yeah, of course.
The Guelphi called me right after they lost the Italian Bowl, so they believed in me as the quarterback that could lead them to
a victory.
Right.
You've won now twice or 3 times with Guelphi?
Twice.
Yeah,
okay. 2022 and last year, 2025.
Okay. Is there any specific, I'm assuming it's the loss against Parma that's like your biggest regret? Or do you feel like that loss also did something for you?
No, 100% did something for me. Of course, like lost 2 Italian Bowls in a row. Not happy about that.
Yeah.
I could have had 4 at this time. But they were, again, God's plan, they were definitely needed. From the first year I won to the second year I won, I got so much better, and there were those 2 losses in between. So that definitely helped me. I started work way harder. It just transformed me in a different player and human being.
What did you do? What shifted?
I just started work out more. I've been working out on average 18 times a week. 18
times a week? Break it down for me. What's it like to wake up as Andrea Fimiani? Like, tell me, give me a day in your life and tell me how you get 18 workouts. And at what point is it like not effective? Let's break it down for me and then we'll go there.
Okay, because that's another point. The thing is, I don't waste time during my day at all. So if I do have 30 minutes, like let's say you got lunch break from work, an hour lunch break, I can eat in 30 minutes. So the other 30 minutes, I'm gonna have a workout in. Okay. And so that's why every time I hear someone saying I don't have time to do stuff, I just do not believe it, because again, I have a job, full-time job.
Yeah.
I live in Milan and I play in Florence, which is almost a 4-hour drive, and I still have time to work out on average 3 times a day.
Is that necessary?
It's definitely not. Probably not. But that's the other point. I understand that's where I got criticism from my coaches and personal trainers too. But the thing is, I don't do it. I mean, of course, I do it to get physically better, but I understand that at some point it might be bad for my body. Okay. I'm not doing it for my body, I'm doing it for my mind. Because I do not like to work out 18 times a week. I'd rather like stay on the couch watching TV. But because I do not like that, I'm doing it because like the final goal, even more than being a good football player, is being mentally tough for whatever life throws at me.
Yeah.
And working out that hard, but it's just not working out, even doing ice baths. I hate them.
Some sort of self-inflicted
whatever
discomfort.
I do not want to do and causes me discomfort, I'm doing it. It might not be good for my body.
What makes you take it to that extreme, though?
I guess, again, the first thing is I do have 30 minutes, so what should I do? Like, should I just scroll on Instagram? I'm a workout because I can. And this might be a radical point of view, but I believe, I don't want to say as a man, but in general, man or woman, you gotta be tough in life, because tough things are gonna happen. You're gonna have to protect your family or kids, whatever. Like for me, I would want a tough person to rely on, and so I'm trying to be that tough person that my family, future kids, and whoever can rely upon.
Did something happen to make you think this way?
I don't know, because I haven't been like this my whole life. So I can't think about something that actually happened that made me start thinking about this. It's probably like build up. I don't know why actually, but again, I haven't been like this my whole life. It's just, it happened, and I just see it this way. I guess it's just the growing process of the human being, and but that's how I see the world in general. And so I try to be as good as I can in every aspect of life. And sometimes I see someone on TV or on social media, and they're jacked, and I'm like, what's my excuse for not being that fit? I do not have, like, if he can, why am I not doing
because you're
it?
not him.
I know.
Comparison is crazy.
I know,
crazy to compare.
But still, it's like, do I have an excuse for not being as fit as I can? I don't. And so I'm a work out and do everything I can in order to be the best. I mean, everyone says that, but really the best version of myself.
So you're competing against yourself, essentially.
Yes.
Thinking, why do I don't have an excuse to not be that jacked? First of all, genetics play a role in people's rippedness.
Right.
And this is why I ask you, did something happen? Because it does make me feel almost like I'm not getting the full picture of like what created this. I don't say monster with a negative connotation, but it is kind of a beastly mentality.
So it probably comes down to how competitive I am. So that's competition.
But where did that competitiveness come from?
And I'd say probably from my dad, because we always were in competition, like we were playing against each other in our backyard, and it definitely taught me that. Like, it never let me win once ever. So that competition, we still play sports, like we still play squash and tennis against each other, and it's still super. Now I'm winning now, so and I do not let him win, but there's still that competitive side, and definitely got it from him.
Yeah. So nothing, there was no like life event that caused you to be so like, I have to do this, I have to be the best. It's just in your blood. Is that what you're saying?
I think so, yeah.
Interesting. There is something called, let me find it.
Yeah.
A foolish allegiance. And the definition of that is loyalty to an idea, habit, or belief long after it stops serving you, simply because you've built your identity around it. You defend something not because it's yours and not because it's true. You stay rigid because changing would threaten who you think you are. And so do you think that like some aspects of how you move and how you behave, do you think any of them could be considered foolish allegiances, or do you think that it's genuinely serving its purpose in your life? Which is tough because that requires you to face like...
Right. No, I do. I mean, I understand that, and that's very interesting. I do think it is still serving my purpose, because my purpose, again, is not being the best football player that I can be, because that is not the goal. So I am working out way too much. I'm doing things like I ran an ultra race in last September. That helped me, did not help me at all for my sport. And caused me problems probably. My goal is not to be the best football player that I can be.
Right.
It's to be the best I can be in like no aspects of my life, but not like, again, as tough as I can be, as physically strong as I can be, as smart as I can be. And there's this quote, comes from David Goggins, but from a podcast he had, and he was saying the purpose, like everyone keeps looking for their purpose in life. The purpose is right there is you. Like, you are your purpose. You getting better, like be the best person you can be. And I'm a quote again, one of my idols when I was growing up is Rafa Nadal, tennis player. And I remember one of his interviews, can't remember when, probably after a game, and they were asking him, like, how do you want to be remembered? And of course, like, he was one of the greatest tennis players ever. His answer was, I want to be remembered as a good person. So that was it. I kind of live by it still. Of course, good person for the people around me, but again, I kind of mix the Rafa Nadal thing to the David Goggins thing. I want to be a good person, but I want to be as good as I can be in everything. So that's what I mean with the purpose is you. Like, is working on myself in order to succeed in every aspect of my life, and again, succeed in a personal way.
So if you strip away football, like, okay, if you had to describe yourself to somebody but you couldn't say what you do at all, not on a professional sense, not on an athlete sense, nothing, how would you describe yourself?
As a tough guy. Again, not talking about sports or in general.
Yeah, you can't use any of that.
As a tough guy that is striving to be, and I'm gonna quote another one, LeBron, that's striving for greatness. Period, not in a particular aspect of life. Striving for greatness in general.
Just striving for greatness, just because. But greatness to you is like not letting down in anything, like just being relentless, essentially. Just relentlessness in all that you do.
And of course, I mean, I'm doing it to be great in what I do. I just don't do it again. And that's why your question at the beginning of this thing was interesting. When you asked me what does being successful means, and is it to win? And yes, it is to win. There are different ways to win in life, but I strive for greatness in order to win. Whatever I'm doing, I want to win.
Do you not believe in balance? Like, do you believe that balance
I
is...
don't. Yes, I do not believe in balance.
Why? Life is about balance. You can't know greatness if you don't know being at the bottom.
And I agree, but that I don't see that as balance. I mean, what is balance? I mean, of course, in order to be great, you got to be at the bottom, and that what makes being great good, because you've been down there. But what's balance? Like, what is balance? I'm not gonna work enough. I'm not gonna work too much because I gotta chill too. I'm a chill once I'm dead.
And it's so funny. This is coming from an Italian. I feel like your whole culture is based off of like the art of doing nothing, relaxing, living the slow life.
Yeah, not me.
Also, how does one become monk-like in a culture that's quite literally built off of indulgences? How do you just supersede all of your surroundings and or transcend everything around you and become this?
Right.
And mind you, I'm not asking this out of I think it's a bad thing. I'm fascinated by it.
But again, like, I don't know where it comes from. Probably from like the what my parents taught me. But I do not believe in being balanced. Like, why would I want to chill? Like, I'm a chill once
because it's good for you.
But I mean,
you can become the best if you don't slow down, life will force you to slow down. This is what I believe. If you don't, I'm not saying you have to like be lazy. I'm just saying, like, if you don't pick a time to slow down, life will choose it for you. That's how it goes. And so to me, balance is finding the perfect the even point between being great and also finding ways to exist in a state of flow. Like, where can you...
Yes, I don't think I need like chill time. I don't think I need it. I just, because actually when I do chill, I feel more stressed because I'm like, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. Like, this is not getting me better. And so like, it's not like I'm stressed because I do too much. Of course, like, working out 88 times a week is stressing on the body, but it would have been more stressful for me not to work out for a whole day, because I'll be, what am I doing?
Of course, I mean, you can work out once, but I think some people would argue that in itself is kind of a trauma response to something. Like, the fact that you feel like you have to be doing something. Like, you have to be doing something, like, relaxing is okay. Like, it's okay to relax every once in a while and just take a breather, because I think that is ultimately how we reach the best version of ourselves, is when we take a step back and like pull the lens out, zoom out, and just see like what's happening. Okay, breathe, awesome, things are good. And then you can get back into it. But it kind of almost feels like you never really give yourself a chance to see, live in the moment and see what's happening.
The other thing, again, is there's 24 hours in a day. I sleep 8 of those 24 hours. I'm chilling those 8 hours. And it's not like I'm 24 hours straight. And it's not just like sleeping, but even when I'm eating, like, I'm eating. I'm sitting on a chair, I'm eating. That's my rest time. Sure. I don't need to like other time to chill or to do nothing. Like, that's enough for me. Okay, so outside of like being the best version of yourself, and football obviously is a huge part of your life, what do you care about? Just aside from all of this stuff, like, it just seems like you're so focused on like being the best version and best output. Like, you want to be optimized, you want to give a really great output to life, but like, what do you care about outside of that? What matters to you? My family. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. It's like being in a position where I can take care of my whole family. That's the main thing for me. That's also why I work so much. Because I mean, football in Italy ain't gonna help that. Yeah. But that's just another thing. But that's what I do care about. Like, take care of my family, and in general. What do you want for them? I don't want them to be worried about life in general. Anything. So, right. You want everybody to just be good. Yeah. And so
So you feel like pushing yourself is how you can get to this point. So I listened to this sports psychologist who, by the way, I wish I had when I was a kid. I just feel like I would have been unstoppable if I had this guy. But he talks about how every great athlete and every great 1% performer has an alter ego. And so I've been dying to know if you have is it just you stepping on that field? Are you just this kind of unhinged superhero who gets on the field and just does his thing? Or do you feel like you flip a switch when you go on the field? He talks about how Kobe Bryant has the Black Mamba. He turns into the Black Mamba, and every great has that. And I just wonder if you turn something on when you play.
I mean, not in anything in particular. When I'm in a football environment, I feel and I see myself more as the guy, because I know I am the guy because I've always been the guy.
So then, yes, you kind of do.
Yes, it's not like I say myself, all right, I'm not Andrea Fimiani no more. I'm the Italian cowboy, right? But yes, on the football field, I mean, that's really my comfort zone. Yeah. That's where I feel the best, because I know I'm good at it. Yeah. And so what I'm working on is having that confidence even outside of the field. Okay. Because that definitely can help me in business or in whatever. And so again, I'm using the sport as a lesson for how to be good. Let's say I got at my job, I got a meeting, I got a lead, which might be an important one, and I got to remind myself I'm the guy that plays again, in front of 5,000 people and balls out, which is not an easy thing to do, but I'm that guy, so I can be that guy even outside of the field. I like that. I like that a lot. So when you underperform, what is that like for you? Because you have so much intensity that you put on yourself. What's an underperformance mean to you? And does it feel like all of your work is wasted, or? No, but it means that I'm doing something wrong and I got to fix it. So first of all, when I do underperform, and again, I underperform and we win, I'm not happy with myself, but I'm win is the ultimate goal in sport. And so we're fine. I just gotta understand why I didn't play good. I underperform and we lose, gotta stay away from me, because I'm not gonna be a funny guy to be around. Because I'm just mad at myself. But I'd say one of a very important thing in my career is that I always try to understand what was I doing wrong and what I could have fixed even after wins. And losses, of course, amplifies that. Losing 2 Italian balls really made me understand and think I got to do something more, because this obviously ain't enough. Because the other thing. But what is the more for you? Because is the more focused on technique, or do you feel like you have to punish yourself? No, both. But it depends. I analyze the game and I see, okay, I'm a shitty thrower. Okay. I gotta get better. Or I'm definitely and that's another thing. In my workouts, in my practices, I do have a structure in my practices where I do punish myself when I make mistakes. So I'll just give you an example of my off-season workouts. I maybe do drills, or I'm throwing to a target net. If I do miss, I'm doing for example, another round, or I miss, I'm running miles because I cannot do it. And if I do miss, or if I'm doing something wrong, I gotta punish myself. That's how I get better. Because if you have a bad practice and nothing changes, your body's gonna be all right. We don't need to be good. Why would we need to be good? Nothing changes. But if you're not good and you punish yourself, body says, shit, I gotta be good next time, or I might run miles again, you know? So
Do you truly think it helps you though? Like, do you truly think it helps you be a better player in the game?
I do think so, but even if that wasn't the case, it definitely toughens my mind, which again is the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
But I'm doing it for every practice, every workout I do. I implement that. I try a way to implement that because it is so important. And
But I see that this also stems from growing up and doing routes. And if you didn't do it right,
there you go.
then you're redoing
Right,
it. Like
right.
that's very
There you
much
go. Right, there you go.
so something that was ingrained in you at a really young age.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fascinating, truly. I think that there's a lot of benefit to being like that for sure. Like being having such a structure in your life and so intense in the way you operate. But I have to wonder if you like, what are you afraid that you'll lose if you let up? Like, it's almost like there's a fear. What do you think you'll lose if you let up and relaxed a little bit?
I'm not gonna lose anything. I just wouldn't be okay with myself. Like,
But what do you think it is of yourself that like isn't good enough if you're not doing these things?
Again, like I'm having like, especially in this period of my life, I'm having really busy days.
Yeah.
I'm going to bed right before going to bed. I'm happy because I know I've had a busy day. I know I'm working toward my goal.
Yeah.
If I wasn't doing that, I wouldn't be that okay before going to bed because I knew I was like kind of cheating myself, like not trying to get better, not trying to accomplish my goals.
So you feel like your self-worth is tied to your output?
Yes.
Why?
Because that's how or at least that's how I measure things. Like the thing is, I'm very, again, analytical person. If I'm doing something and that isn't helping me to get where I want to be, winning or whatever, that means I'm doing something wrong. Because the other thing is that I want to talk about is I blame myself for everything. And I believe that's a very important thing that everyone should do. I do not, like, we may lose the game because the offense scored 50 points and the defense gets scored on 60, all right? Offense played great. I might have my best game, but I still blame myself because I could have scored 61, you know? And I do that for everything in my life. Like again, everything. So taking accountability for whatever happens to me. And again, I see it this way. Everything bad that happens in my life, it's my fault because I could have prevented it somehow, some way, could have saw it coming or whatever it is the case. But that makes me, taking accountability of everything makes me say, if I don't accomplish my goals, I'm doing something wrong. So that's just on me.
So you think your self-worth doesn't come from inside. You think it comes from the things around you and the things that you do.
Yes, again, it's like if I'm doing the right thing, I'm a win. It's a mathematical equation.
Yeah.
So I'm not winning, I'm doing something wrong. That's as easy as it gets. And I'm not talking again just about sports, but in general. So if the output isn't winning, I gotta look at myself and be, all right, what am I missing?
So if you tie your self-worth to everything outside of you and things go wrong, then you think that it makes you less valuable to the world? Or you think that like you're so hard on yourself that if you tie yourself to everything around you and shit's just going wrong everywhere, then you think you're doing something wrong.
Yes.
Even if you're still doing everything the way that you're supposed to be doing it, you think you're doing something wrong.
Yes.
So then in that case, what do you adjust? Because that could be life telling you arguably to slow down.
Right.
So if you're working out 3 times a day, you're working your ass off at your finance job so that you can pay the bills and then some, you're winning every game in football, like you're doing all the right things, but shit just still isn't or like stuff is going wrong still, what do you adjust at that point? Because you think you're doing everything right.
I might have to review what I'm doing and
like audit yourself and
no, yes, and it's like watching films on Adult,
sure,
and understand what's wrong, because if I'm not accomplishing my goals, if I'm not winning, I'm doing something wrong. And so it's like a chess game. If you lose a chess game, you did something wrong at some point. So you just gotta go back, analyze the game, and understand which was the wrong move. So that's how I see it. And again, I wasn't like that when I was like younger. I don't know what flipped the switch, but now that's the way I see it, and I believe that's the. I mean, of course, because I'm doing it, but I believe that's the right way. Like everyone should see it that way. Like,
do you judge people who don't see it that way?
I wouldn't say judge, but I just don't agree with them.
Is that a lack of agreement about you, or is it about them? I don't know. I ask because it almost seems like it comes a little bit more out of like an ego place than it does.
No, I'm like I do believe this is the right way to do it. So if someone doesn't have the same perspective, I just assume they're wrong.
But there is no one right way to live life. Everybody has a different thumbprint.
But the thing that's why I said I don't really judge it, because I don't really care for what everyone, like, I understand everyone has his own perspective. So I don't pretend them to be looking at it the same way that I do. I just think that mine is the right one, but I don't care if someone else doesn't have that kind of mental thought.
So you're not necessarily looking down on people who don't have the same.
Again, I understand. I may look like I may look crazy for it.
I mean, you are a little crazy, but it's okay. We're all a little crazy.
I understand. I might look like it, so I'm not. And everyone keeps telling me that. So it's not like I think everyone else is an idiot.
Yeah.
Of course, like I understand everyone has his own perspective. I just stick to mine, and I'm good with it. Like everyone, as you said, right.
Do you think you have to be a little crazy to be great?
100%.
I just made a video about this, and I was like, I think the more unhinged I become, the greater I'm becoming. And I can't describe it, but like the screws
100%. And we're going back to the balance thing. I don't think where's balance in, like, let's think about, and let's go back to sports, but we can do it with business too. Tell me a businessman or a sportman that is at the top 1% that's balanced.
So I would actually say this. I read a book when I was in like a slump in college. My mom gave me this book because I also have a mother who's very just like on it. And it's called From Good to Great to Unstoppable. And it is written by Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. And
were they balanced?
Let me get there.
Right.
And who else? Dwayne Wade, their trainer. He like figured out how to get in with the NBA and started his first big athlete ever. I think maybe his first athlete he ever trained was Michael Jordan. And I think Michael Jordan was more like you, certainly. Like he had like this is how you do it. This is how you go through life. He was very whatever, but I do think that Kobe was more on the balance side. However, kind of, but yes, this is what he called it. So that he put people in 3 categories, people that he's trained. There are cleaners, closers, and coolers. Coolers are the ones who you're saying they're still able to get it done. Like they're still in the category of like, they're good enough to be in the league or playing at a high level or whatever. They can kind of get it done, but they're kind of like helpers. But like when it comes down to it, they're not going to be able to finish the job. Closers who can close the deal, basically do what they have to do. They're one step above the coolers, and I'm not explaining it too well, but they can do it. And then there are cleaners who just clean house. Like they will win under any circumstance, under any. And he called Michael Jordan, Dwayne Wade, and Kobe Bryant cleaners, like they clean house. So, but his thing was like during season, they were doing stuff that no one else was doing. They were becoming the best. They were training the hardest. They were shooting every day. They were just doing what it takes to be the best. So I would say they had no balance in that regard. But I would argue that I do think greatness requires balance. And I'm not saying balance in the sense of like you have to let loose. I'm saying balance in the sense of like, I don't really know how I'm trying to describe it, but balance more in terms of like, how can you think in this mentality that only you must only do this? It's kind of robotic in my mind, but you can't have any fun. Like that's like fun also has to exist for greatness to exist in my experience.
But that's the point. I think fun. I'm having fun.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. Right. But I mean, like, when was the last time you did something that was universally understood as fun?
But
like, do you have fun?
Like, what's universal? Like, is it
like going to an amusement park? Or I don't think that's universally fun. I mean, to agree. Me, like, I think like that can be fun, but I'm saying like
football is universally fun. So
like going to an amusement park or like watching a show that made you laugh, or like when was the last time you just did something that was just like fun, you know, like had fun, traveled and went on a vacation that changed your perspective?
I mean, I do go on vacations. Last time I went on vacation, I was still working out 3 times a day. But it was fun doing it because I was by the sea, but I'm having fun every day. Like I had fun an hour ago practicing with my teams, playing football, which is a sport that I love. I'm having a lot of fun.
Something outside of your everyday stuff though, like you don't do anything that's like just a fun thing to do?
Again, I don't know we gotta define fun, because I'm having fun doing everything that I do.
Yeah, I know, but I mean like just something that's not work, something that's not working towards something, or is working towards something the only type of fun you like to have?
I don't know. Again, I don't hang out so much with people in general outside of sport. Like I do have fun when I go to the gym and I work out with my friends. That's fun to me.
Yeah.
It's not like I go to a concert or, I mean, I don't.
You wouldn't go to a concert?
No, I mean, it depends. But it's not something that I think I probably never went to a concert ever before.
We need a stretch break. I think I've seen you doing this before, but this is, wait, maybe not you, but this is my favorite, one of my favorite stretches to do.
Yeah, do a similar thing.
Yeah.
That's good for hips.
So good.
Yeah.
And core, like you keep your core tight.
I had a bad hip surgery. That was my first of 5 surgeries that I've had.
Oh shit.
And in 2019, my first year in Bergamo playing for the Lions, and I dislocated my femur popped out of my hip. That was bad. Oh. Yeah. And it's crazy because like I got an injury, like so I torn the labrum, like the cartilage that was sticking my femur into my hip during the game. But my femur stayed in place. So I was like, there's something wrong. I don't know what. And then the following week, I was going to practice. I was at practice. I was in the locker room, and I did this to put my sock on, and my femur popped out.
Oh, I would have passed out.
No, that was very bad.
So it happened in the game, but you didn't realize it until you.
Yes, and then until I was putting my sock in the locker room, and my femur popped out, and then back in, and I felt it like I was watching it. Like you could feel the bone, like
just like push your muscles and like your wow,
and like scratching on the cartilage and everything. And yeah, that was how I had my first surgery.
Well, damn. So do you feel like playing at the level that you do is sustainable for a long time, or what do you think you'll have to do in order to play for as long? How long do you want to play?
That's funny because I was talking about that with a friend like 2 days ago. And the conversation started because I was thinking if I play until I'm 40, I just got 10 years left, 10 seasons left.
Yeah.
Which in my mind is not a lot. I mean, it's just 10 seasons.
Still feels like a lot of seasons.
but like for me, it was like, it's crazy. Just 10 seasons left in my life. So I was thinking, if I do play until I'm 40, so now I started to think, all right, am I going to be able to play until I'm 40? I probably will need to adjust my game down the stretch. But I don't like, I hope I'll be able to play until that age.
Okay, so yes, that's what I think. If you play till you're 40, you definitely can't play the way you play right now.
Probably.
You got to find a way to preserve your body.
But also look at what LeBron James is doing.
He's not getting hit the way you are.
I know. Cristiano Ronaldo is doing so.
They're not getting hit the way you are. You physically can do it.
Yes,
but you can't do it by being hit.
Probably. But hey, you got like boxers. They're 40 years old. Like Tyson Fury is 40 plus. He used to be like heavyweight champion at 40 plus.
Yeah, I just still don't know if it's the same. Like they're still not putting on the same mileage as you do as the way you play quarterback. Right. So you can do it, but the way you're getting beat up, you just have to make adjustments.
Right, probably, but we'll see.
Oh, I left my book because we were stretching. But yeah, that's my favorite stretch right now. Okay, so let's get into, no. On our break, I looked up the definition of fun.
All right.
And it is lighthearted pleasure. And I don't think playing football is lighthearted pleasure. Well, I guess it could be, but it's not like whimsical. When I think of fun, I think of just like whimsical, something easy breezy. I think that when I think of balance, actually, I think Easton is such a great example because he's a dog. Like he really can get that shit done. But he also is just so easy breezy, chill, calm, but also like flow. Like he'll just go with the flow. If the flow is like we're locked in or whatever, he'll be that. But if the flow is, and I'm not saying you have to be that. I'm just saying you told me to define it, and that's what I think of.
Yeah, for the lighthearted thing, I don't think I do much being lighthearted.
I think it's really good for you.
In general.
Like maybe if you took like 5 lighthearted minutes a day.
I don't feel the need for it.
Yeah.
Now, but I might feel it like in a year or 5 years from now.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask too. Like along with football, we talked about sustainability. Do you think that this is a season, or do you think this is a lifelong thing? This is just kind of like priming you for where you want to be, but like over time you could ease up on the gas a little bit, or do you think
that's tough to say?
Because is it sustainable to just like work out 3 times a day?
That's tough to say. I wonder. We'll see.
So you're open to like change.
I probably like the amount of success I'll have will influence that. Like the amount of success. Like until I have success, I'm definitely gonna keep pushing. And I don't know, because like even with football, like I won twice now. It's not like I took my foot off the pedal.
Sure, because athletes are always more of in a state of transition. You never hit a destination as an athlete. You're always just like transitioning into your next phase. You transition from like loss to win to loss, not a champion to champion, but it's never like a spot. Champion never feels like even the biggest, like even after you guys won, when I talked to a few people, they were just like, yeah, it's great. I'm super happy we did it, but I don't feel like this. I did it. Like life is fulfilled.
Right. Because you got to do it again.
So if all the success you ever dreamed of showed up on your doorstep tomorrow, then would you give yourself a little bit of
I don't know. I don't. I mean, I just can't tell. I guess I'm see how I will react to that.
But like pretend it did. Just like be there for a second and pretend it all just showed up. What would you feel like?
I'd say probably the fact that I've been like this every day for years will probably make it tough to change.
So you're kind of addicted.
I mean, it's like what I am. It's not like I'm addicted to something. It's like the way I see and I live life. So it's. I mean, I don't know if that's going to change or not.
Okay. So I think I would say you're disciplined. Part of me thinks you're disciplined, but the other part of me thinks you're like loyal to the version of you who is disciplined, because you just said it's who you are. So you're like,
could be
kind of discipline, but you're more loyal to like what you think discipline is.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Makes sense.
So let's get into the football side. Something that has just been bothering me for so long that I have to ask is, how could someone who isn't like just one of, who's quite literally the best Italian quarterback in the country, with just like undeniably so. I heard a quote once that was like, no one argues with a winner. And you can't argue that you know how to win, especially after last season. You turned on a side of yourself in that championship that I had never seen. Also, I'd never seen you celebrate before. That was crazy. I was like, but how could you put up the stats that you do, run through every player in the country and still not be on the national team?
Oh, okay. How much time you got?